Reported yesterday have pushed this year's total to 210. That's according to police data. Now, in one incident, an off-duty Special Reserve Police officer confronted a masked intruder at his Barrackpore home and fired at the suspect, who escaped. Nothing was stolen. Hours later, armed men dressed in black tactical gear, including one wearing a vest marked police, forced their way into a Covine Road home, assaulted a 26-year-old man, and stole $500, a gold chain, and a gold wristband. The TTPS says comparisons with previous years are not possible because home invasion only became a standalone offense in January. Before that, such incidents were recorded as housebreaking or burglary.
A Tobago businessman was awakened by a gun butt to the head before robbers forced him to hand over more than US $14,000 and reveal the PIN numbers to his bank cards. Police say 50-year-old Anthony Woods was asleep when 4 men entered his bedroom. 2 were armed with guns and 2 with cutlasses. The suspects reportedly demanded jewelry before assaulting Woods with their weapons. Investigators say they escaped with bags containing thousands of TT and US dollars, several bank cards, and the PIN numbers linked to them. When CNC3 News visited the area today, Woods had left home seeking medical attention.
His shoulder was swelled up, so he had to go to the hospital for a little checkup because he was in kind of pain and things. So kind of feeling a little better, but still, we were the matter settled, and we hope they catch these guys and lock them up because that was very wrong. You can't come in somebody's home and come rob them. This is private property. You can't come in people's place and try rob them.
A neighbor speaking on condition of anonymity said the incident has left her frightened and unsure who to trust. She blamed delinquency among youths for a rise in criminality and urged authorities to take immediate action.
An 80-year-old El Socorro man escaped an alleged kidnapping after seeking help from police at a Cyprus Road gas station. Police
say his 43-year-old landlord beat him with a broom handle, stole $50, then forced him into a car and ordered him to withdraw $1,000 from an ATM at the gas station.
Now, the pensioner alerted nearby officers who arrested the suspect.
The man was taken to the Barataria police station where he remained up to news time.
Police Public Information Officer ASP Awi Russell once again made it clear that while Stand Your Ground legislation allows people to defend themselves, it is not a license to kill. On CNC3's The Morning Brew program today, Russell urged homeowners to respond with appropriate force, as they too may face legal action for excessive force.
You are not mandated to retreat. Yes, we want you to defend yourself, but we must be proportionate defense based on what you honestly believe.
Yeah.
So even if it has to go before a court, the judge, the master, the magistrate could say, well, based on what is before me, I am satisfied that you acted proportionally.
Meanwhile, political scientist and senior UE lecturer Dr. Indira Rampasad says she still believes home invasion legislation was a necessary addition to combat crime, noting that such provisions should work in tandem with other initiatives.
Because I think it is a useful legislation. It has to go hand in hand with the firearm possession, so citizens can protect themselves. The Stand Your Ground legislation. And I think also that there are additional measures that need to be taken. And I think the police post is a welcome one.
And Russell also reminded the public that in order to respond with serious force, a person must feel that their life or the life of a loved one is under serious threat. The Ministry of Homeland Security has secured an early shipment of 8,000 passport booklets, easing pressure on what sources say had become a dangerously depleted national stock.
CNC3 News understands the machine-readable booklets supplied by the Canada Banknote Company arrived ahead of schedule, having initially been expected in the first week of September. Another 40,000 booklets are expected between September 30th and October 7th, completing the approximately 48,000 additional passports previously announced by the ministry. But the arrival will not immediately end delays. CNC3 News understands a significant backlog has developed, with some applicants now waiting as long as 10 weeks for their passports. Immigration officials are now faced with balancing the need to increase production and clear older applications while ensuring the new stock lasts until the much larger shipment arrives. The early shipment comes after we were informed that immigration officials slowed passport issuance in recent weeks to stretch critically low supplies.
Let's tell you what's still to come in the news. Integrity Commission names parliamentarians who failed to file asset declarations with fines and jail time possible.
Brian Manning's loyalty to the PNM put under the spotlight. The party tries to contain the dispute.
And later on in sport, Guyana Amazon Warriors smothers St. Lucia Kings to go top of the CPL.
We finally said yes to onion rings. Now it's your turn to say yes to the new KFC onion ring chicken sandwich for $34.95, or get a regular side of rings for just $15. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Welcome back. Questions are now being raised about San Fernando East MP Brian Manning's loyalty to the PNM as an internal dispute within his constituency continues to spill into the public domain.
Now, Manning is rejecting suggestions he is working with the UNC to undermine his own party, declaring emphatically that the PNM remains his political home.
Akash Samaru reports.
As tensions continue within the PNM San Fernando East constituency, a new question is being thrown into the mix. Where does MP Brian Manning's loyalty lie? All People's Party political leader Kezel Jackson has publicly questioned whether Manning's actions are being influenced by the United National Congress.
Is there any UNC involvement here? My question to you. Were you by chance motivated by the United National Congress to show up the weaknesses of the People's National Movement?
But Manning has flatly rejected any suggestion that he is working with the UNC. Mr. Manning said he's not been offered anything by the United National Congress and he would never join them. Taking a jab at the UNC's Jerlene John, Manning said he'd leave that behavior for who he called sellouts like her. He, however, underscored that the PNM is his home. The controversy comes as the PNM leadership attempts to contain a simmering dispute within Manning's San Fernando East constituency. PNM Chairman Marvin Gonzalez says an inquiry team was appointed in July after the party received correspondence from both Manning and constituency chairman Patricia Alexis. The team interviewed both sides and their witnesses before submitting a report containing findings and recommendations. Gonzalez says that report has since been considered by the party's leadership, central executive, and a general council, and action is being taken on its recommendations. However, the PNM has not disclosed what those findings or recommendations are. We asked Gonzalez for those details, but up to news time, he had not responded. Manning, meanwhile, insists the controversy is being wrongly portrayed as a personal battle between himself and Alexis. He says members of the constituency raised concerns with him about what he described as certain elements of the executive, with many of those concerns involving its chairman, such as allegations of conflicts of interest. Manning said the constituency is crying out for a chairman they can trust. And despite the party's intervention, Manning does not appear to consider the controversy settled. When asked whether he was satisfied with the outcome and if Alexis should be removed, he replied, "Justice, integrity, and good sense should prevail." Asked if he thinks Alexis wants to take his seat from him, Manning said he does not know and he does not care. Now, the party chairman, meanwhile, has warned both sides against publicly ventilating allegations while the matter remains before the party. Several attempts by CNC3 News to reach Alexis for her response were unsuccessful. Calls and messages to her mobile phone went unanswered. Meanwhile, political analyst Dr. Shade Mohammed believes the dispute should never have been allowed to reach this point, arguing that Manning's concerns should have been addressed much earlier. Mohammed says the controversy points to wider problems within the opposition party and warns that failing to confront those internal issues could further weaken it.
And if the PNM is not prepared to confront its institutional issues and really and truly just sweep things under the carpet, then it is failing itself, it is failing its membership, it is failing as an opposition.
But for now, it seems as if the San Fernando East matter is definitely not over. Akash Samaru, CNC3 News.
Dozens of current and former parliamentarians have been named by the Integrity Commission for failing to file declarations of their income, assets, liabilities, and registrable interests. The list includes government ministers, opposition MPs, and senators, with some declarations outstanding for 2024 and 2025. Under the Integrity in Public Life Act, failure to file without a legitimate reason can result in publication of the person's name and legal action, including a fine of up to $250,000 and up to 10 years in prison on summary conviction. CNC3 News spoke with San Fernando East MP Brian Manning, whose name appears on the list. He says an audit delayed his filing, but he expects to submit his declaration by the end of the month.
I mean, they should understand how cumbersome filing is every single year. And especially if they have been having conversations, like you said, since I've been, enduring an audit from them, they should understand the situation. But I accept and understand that they have a job to do, and I will submit by the end of the month.
But the Integrity Commission says public officials are given months to comply and have options if they are unable to meet the deadline. Integrity Commission Chairman Hayden Gitton says declarants generally have until May 31st to file, receive reminders from January, and can apply for an extension of up to 1 year where there is a valid reason. He says the Commission is required by law to publish the names of those who fail to comply.
There's 5 months to do this thing, or 90 days in the case of a first-time declarant. They have time, opportunity to meet their requirement, because that's a requirement once you agree to become a person in public life.
Gittins acknowledges that the declaration form and the information required could be simplified.
But he says any change to the process would have to go through Cabinet and Parliament because both of the requirements and the form are provided for under the law.
He also warns that while many declarants comply after their names are published, a hardcore group continues to ignore the requirement, and the Commission can seek court orders to force them to file.
PTSD workers are being told their wage negotiations have not stalled but remain with the Office of the Chief Personnel Officer. Transport and Industrial Workers Union President Sean Roberts gave the assurance during a meeting with concerned workers at the union's Lavental office today. The workers had raised concerns over delays in settling their wage demands, while other unions have been receiving assurances of impending increases. The meeting comes months after the union wrote Transport Minister Eli Zaku, urging the government to expedite wage talks. Roberts sought to calm fears, telling workers the issue came down to a lack of communication and that a resolution was only a matter of time.
They just come to find out where the negotiations at, because they're seeing everybody making noise, other unions, and so there's comfort. There are little information which they receive.
So where is the negotiation at this time?
Right now, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 at the CPO. As usual, everybody negotiations at the CPO. So we're waiting for feedback from the CPO. Right? That is 6 periods.
And after that, what was going on with the period after 2020?
No, well, these proposals have already been sent in to the company.
Roberts says he is looking forward to settling the outstanding negotiations soon. CNC3 News reached out to Chief Personnel Officer. However, up to news time, there was no response. Salary negotiations between the Water and Sewage Authority and the Public Services Association are progressing as scheduled, with the process expected to reach the Ministry of Public Utilities by Friday. Now, this is according to Minister of Public Utilities and Line Minister for WASA, Barry Pedarath, who gave the update on Wednesday following the distribution of book grants at his Couva South constituency office. Padarat said he spoke with WASA's acting Chief Executive Officer, Dane Barrage, and was satisfied with the progress being made. He visited WASA's headquarters on Monday and met with the PSA president to ensure the negotiations moved forward. Workers of the National Program for the Upkeep of Public Spaces, or NPUPS, should soon have a more reliable system for getting paid.
That's right. Local Government and Rural Development Minister Khadija Amin says most of the backlog in payments has now been cleared, following weeks of complaints from workers. The minister has not confirmed how many workers were paid to date. Amin says the permanent secretary has agreed to introduce a digital payroll system, which she says should prevent late payments in the future for the over 1,600 workers. She says despite the delays, NPUP workers continue to be productive. For August, they are focusing on schools, particularly early childhood centers. Into some business news, Touchstone Exploration is being pushed to increase oil and gas production from its Trinidad operations, with the Central Block and Cascadura fields identified as immediate targets.
Meanwhile, former Energy Minister Stuart Young is defending the PNM's restructuring of Atlantic LNG, arguing the 2023 deal is now delivering higher revenues for NGC and Trinidad and Tobago.
Andrea Perez-Sobers shares more in tonight's Business Watch.
The government is looking to squeeze more production from existing oil and gas acreage, with Touchstone Exploration being pressed for faster results from two key areas. Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Munilal met with Touchstone executives on Wednesday to review the company's operations and plans for Trinidad and Tobago. At the center of discussions was production. The ministry says particular attention was placed on increasing oil and gas output in the short term from the Central Block and the Cascadura field in the Ottawa Block. Touchstone's president and CEO Paul Bay and exploration manager Xavier Munan updated the minister on the company's ongoing work, progress and the obstacles affecting its operations. The meeting comes as Trinidad and Tobago faces continued pressure to raise domestic energy production and make better use of existing acreage. For Touchstone, the focus is now on how quickly production can be increased from assets already under its control. The ministry adds the discussions also covered the barriers affecting the company's ability to advance its exploration and production program. Turning to other business news, former Energy Minister Stuart Young is taking credit for what he says is a direct link between the restructuring of Atlantic LNG and higher revenues now being earned by the National Gas Company and the state. Speaking to Business Watch, Young said the restructuring was a PNM policy dating back 2018 and involved 5 years of negotiations with BP and Shell before the agreement was completed in December 2023.
So today in 2026 and even in 2025, exactly as the PNM intended and fought hard to achieve based on PNM's policies, Trinidad and Tobago is benefiting, especially via NGC, from increased revenue as a direct result of that work that we did that is recorded in history, completed in December 2023. So don't be fooled by those who are now in office trying to mislead the population.
NGC Chairman Jal Ramdeen earlier this year disputed claims by Young on the Atlantic LNG restructuring, pointing out that the government had to reimburse NGC US $27.1 million for maintenance work on Train 1 in 2021. And now for a look at today's energy and foreign exchange prices. Andrea Perez-Sobers, CNC3 Business Watch.
Thanks, Andrea. Let's hand over to Sigoni to find out what's coming up next in tonight's weather report.
Changing weather could mean changing sea conditions. I've got more right after the break.
Truth be told, here at GMMB, love is the currency. And let's show you how we are able to transfer that energy into real conversations. It seems to me there's a power in listening. It seems like that is a part of the mandate.
Of course. We need to listen to our clients. We need to hear what they need. We need to hear that they are satisfied, they are loved, they are feeling that GMMB culture.
GMMB.
It's banking for real. Life, what a wonderful journey we're on. Each stage is unique, and at Tata Life, we not only understand, but also appreciate that you'll have different needs at different times. So trust us to protect you and yours with our comprehensive range of financial planning solutions to ensure that you never, ever have to worry. For the many stages of your life, Tata Life, a member of the Answer McCall Group.
Okay, let me see you, Cherry Hill. Yeah, now take it back. Let me see you rock off, shake off. Let me see you rock off. Let me see you kick right. Now step forward, now step back.
Lucozade, bring the energy. Unbeatable taste, new look.
Shake off. Let me see you rock off.
Discover your favorite treat with Casey Candy Gummies. Sweet or sour, dive into a wave of fun shapes and flavors. Our halal gummies are made with fruit juices, and every bite is packed with fun, chewiness, and pure deliciousness. Perfect for an everyday snack, birthday parties, or lunch boxes. Make your snack time irresistible. And enjoy your day with KC Gummies.
Struggling to lose weight despite your efforts, feeling tired after meals, or dealing with stubborn belly fat? It may not just be your diet. Your blood sugar could be the issue. Spikes can lead to fat storage, low energy, and higher cholesterol. Berberine Plus, with berberine, bitter melon, and banaba leaf, help support healthy glucose metabolism so your body works more efficiently. Take control and feel the difference in 90 days. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide.
Ready for a cricket showdown like no other. The Trinbago Knight Riders go head-to-head with Antigua and Barbuda Falcons this Saturday, August 22nd, in another massive Republic Bank CPL T20 clash. Join us from 6:30 p.m. for the live pre-show. Then catch every boundary, wicket, and thrilling moments live and exclusive on CNC3 and CNC3Live.com from 7 p.m. This year.
All right, welcome back, Scoonie. From sunshine to showers, the weather is set to take another turn.
That is right, and no pitter-patter this evening. I know Doris wants a little bit of that, but Jesse, we are in for some heavy downpours just after midnight, or even before that, and we could even hear some thunder rumbling in this forecast. Let's take a look at what's happening out there, because today we had that mixture of sunshine and cloudiness, just as Jesse was saying, and then we got a lot of fair conditions. Right now it's relatively fair out there. We do not have any activity happening in the Atlantic, but we do have tropical wave activity on the way, maybe about a day or two away from us in Trinidad and Tobago. And in between that tropical wave and where we are in this red circle this evening, we do have the presence of the ITCZ, the Intertropical Convergence Zone. It's a band of cloud that moves around the equator, bringing in rain. It's one of our biggest rainmakers aside from tropical waves during our wet season. And what we are seeing is that it's just south of where we are, but we could see some moisture rolling in with the easterly trade. So let's take a closer closer look as to what's happening here across Trinidad and Tobago. Relatively clear right now, but some instability in the atmosphere. Moisture in an abundance moving around the general area is going to start to push its way into the islands overnight, and that's where we could see clouds building a little bit more, and with a possible heavy downpours and isolated thunderstorm activity within a few areas that could bring about some gusty winds and localized street flooding, especially into the pre-dawn period into tomorrow morning. So if you have an early morning commute, umbrellas on hand and pay attention to what's happening in and around wherever you are. Now, temperature-wise, we stay warm this evening, so you won't be pulling the covers into this forecast, and you'll probably be losing them as for the rest of the weekend as well, because it's going to stay quite warm during the day and in the nighttime period for the most part. Into tomorrow, we go. Early morning shower reactivity, if you're in Tobago, thunderstorm action picks up as the day progresses, especially around mid-morning. For Trinidad, we'll see those showers on again, off again as the day progresses. But by the afternoon period, entering early evening, conditions settle down and we get quiet weather for the most part. Now, if that's enough to take you to the beaches, we do have light wind action at this time. Conditions are moderate, winds coming out from the east to east-southeast in terms of direction. That's going to hold steady. But get this, where we have those scattered showers and even heavier downpours and isolated thunderstorms, you could encounter a slight chop and seas could be a bit agitated. So if you're heading out there, exercise just a little bit of caution, especially during your high tide time. No significant marine weather activity right now, so no spring tide in effect, but just be mindful as to what's happening out there and just enjoy it while you can.
I was actually looking forward to the thunder because I was hoping I could actually get under my blanket.
Overnight.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. All right, still to come in the news, 8 grade 1s, 8A profiles. Naparima Girls head student turning Cape success into a mission to champion TNT culture.
My man, Andre.
Good night, Anthony.
7 years with the company, and we couldn't do it without Antoine.
Happy birthday, dear Alejandro. Happy birthday to you.
Who's Angelo? We're like coworkers who don't forget your name.
I'm Angelo.
CG United. Good like that.
Every day, we're expected to show up. For each other, for ourselves. What people don't see is everything that keeps us going. Because staying in the game isn't about one big moment. It's about showing up again and again and again.
Big moments call for light refreshment. Viva sparkling flavored water. Zero sugar, full flavor.
Hit the heat with 6. Cold, pure refreshment every over.
The biggest party in sport is back. Catch every TKR March live and exclusively on CNC3, August 7th through September 20th. You don't want to miss the action. The Republic Bank CPL 2026, only on CNC3. Passion, energy, and cricket live here. Brought to you by
You're heavy. Not your body, your future. Let me help you carry it.
How?
We start investing with First Line together.
Love is sweet. Financial planning is sweeter. Start building your financial future together with First Line Securities, helping Trinidad and Tobago invest for over 2 decades. Invest with us. Go to firstlinesecurities.com to begin investing today.
Hi, Sunil Narayan here. And for the longest while, I've been looking for a place in Central to call home. I didn't have much experience in home shopping until I visited Avidan Properties Limited. They made the process so easy and the quality of homes are truly amazing. If you're looking to get your future home, then I definitely recommend Avidan Properties Limited.
Welcome back. Celebrated Trinidad and Tobago artist Willie Chen is being honored posthumously with an honorary Doctor of Fine Arts degree from the University of Trinidad and Tobago.
At his funeral at Our Lady of Perpetual Church in San Fernando, UTT chairman and longtime friend Dr. Selwyn Kujo reflected on the life of the 91-year-old artist and the impact he had on those around him. Chen was remembered as a legendary artist and a multi-talented creative, a writer, poet, sculptor and businessman who touched lives through art and culture. He was also remembered for his deep faith, his love for his family, his sense of community and his ability to transform the ordinary into powerful works of art.
The second thing about Willie, which is important, there was no racial bone in Willie. There was no he was generous to everyone in every sphere of life. And in fact, you might say he was a true Trini. He could talk in nonsense, he liked to joke, and of course, but he was devoted to his craft. He loved life, and most importantly, he loved his family.
Chen's contributions to art, culture and literature earned him numerous honors, including the Hummingbird Medal Silver, the Chaconia Medal Silver, the Nallis Lifetime Literary Award and the Niehurst Award for Excellence in Science and Technology.
He died on August 7th at the age of 91. Well, Jassy is here with a preview for sport, including a look into the mind of one of the Caribbean's top cricket commentators.
That's right. This guy has been the voice of the CPL for its entire existence so far. And so we find out what Ian Bishop thinks about being inducted into the league's Hall of Fame. And the U.S. Tennis Open set to break the bank with a record prize purse. We'll give you all the details after the break.
Is mealtime more of a chore than a cherished time? Does a lack of appetite keep your family, young and old, from getting the nourishment they need? Introducing Apetamin, the gentle, effective appetite stimulant designed for every age. Apetamin helps spark the natural desire to eat, turning hesitant nibbles into satisfying meals. Watch as food becomes exciting again, fueling growth, energy, and shared moments around the table. Give your body the gift of a joyful appetite. Find Apetamin in pharmacies nationwide.
Some moments change everything. Your family's first memories. Comfort isn't just about temperature, it's about feeling your best. Whether you're celebrating the big win or making unforgettable memories, the moments that matter deserve comfort you can trust. That's why thousands choose McQuay by Daikin. And now, every purchase of a McQuay air conditioner helps make a difference. A portion of the proceeds will be donated to the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society. Visit your nearest Schoolmax or Superco Limited branch or request McQuay from your trusted AC technician.
The moment my children came into my life, I do everything I can for them to live healthy, enjoyable lives. Nature's Ways Alive Kids Gummies are multivitamin gummies meant to support the development of children's bodies. They come in delicious fruit flavors and contain natural plant-based pectin. This means that if I'm looking for an alternative to animal-based gelatin for personal reasons, they are the best choice for my little ones. Choose Alive Kids Gummies by Nature's Way for your children because they deserve it.
You can make your goals unfold, go get it. You can live your dream, join the team, let's do this. You can get the help you need to succeed with Run Credit Union. You can believe that you can achieve big goals, small ones too. Run Credit Union, we've got you. No more waiting, that won't do. Make someday today. One life, so make it good. Live the way you know you should with Run Credit Union. Yes, you could.
Live your best life today with Rand Credit Union.
Welcome back. It's time for sport now. Trinidad and Tobago's under-12 girls tennis teams placed first and fourth at the Kotec under-12 tournament happening at the National Racket Center in Tacarigua today. Team 1, featuring Tasia Wellington, Anaya Roberts and Zara Walker, downed St. Kitts and Nevis 2-0. Wellington was in devastating form against Shakira Fleming, winning in straight sets 6-love, 6-love. Roberts, meanwhile, faced a greater fight from Briella Lake, who took 4 games in the first set, but Roberts eventually won it 6-4, and then closed the match with a more clinical second set performance, getting the better of Lake 6-2. Another straight sets win meant Trinidad and Tobago's third player, Zara Walker, was not called into action, much to the relief, it seems, of head coach of the Trinidad and Tobago ladies. Meanwhile, TNT's Team 2 pair of Amelia Wu, Soraya Ramnath, they lost the third place match with Suriname 2-0. The Guyana Amazon Warriors jumped to the top of the Caribbean Premier League table with a 7-wicket win over the St. Lucia Kings at the Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium last evening. The Warriors were typically stifling in their bowling effort and then calculated in the run chase.
Cricket highlights brought to you by JMMB. It's banking for real.
Andres House and Kamel Puran made a good start with a partnership of 30, batting first at Guyana's behest. But Puran was Shea Hope's 27th Warriors dismissal to go past a former Amazon glovesman Dennis Ramdin. 2 quick wickets with the Kings in the 50s helped Guyana tighten the grip. House laboured to 20 from 21 balls and Akim Ogis fell to a good catch by Shimron Hetmeyer for 13, 55 for 3. King skipper Ruston chased it 2 4s, but also scored at almost a run a ball. By the time Shama Joseph got him out, he was on 14 from 13 and St. Lucia on 76 for 4. With Guyana limiting the run flow, Darren Ned and the Charit Asalanka had to choose their moments, and a partnership of 45 for the 5th wicket took them 40 balls. Ned caught out trying to accelerate. He made 17 from 23. Matthew Ford showed some muscle during a 7-ball 14, but was also out-caught as the Kings closed on 151 for 7 from 20 overs. Glenn Phillips and Mavenja Dindial started the run chase positively and batted through the first half of the innings. Dindial was even given a life by Amari Goodrich when the batsman was on 28 at the start of the 11th over. But the very next ball, Ford wasn't so generous and Phillips was not so fortunate. Riding on the earlier chance, Dindial continued his merry way, and it was poetic that another drop catch allowed him to get to 50 from 50 balls. Pedestrian by T20 standards, but a milestone either way. But on the same score, he was stumped a long way down. Hope was caught by House for 17 with a score on 119 for 3 in the 17th over. But the rest of the way was smooth sailing for Quinton Sampson and Hetmeyer. Sampson made 13 not out and Hetmeyer made 25 as the Warriors reached 157 for 3 with 11 balls remaining, winning by 7 wickets and moving to the top of the table. Ian Wason, CNC3 Sport.
Cricket highlights brought to you by JMMB. It's banking for real.
Well, Quinton Sampson, the name you just heard, he touches the St. Lucia night sky with our shot of the day.
Just enough back-to-back sixes for Quinton Sampson. 1-3-3 for 3, and they love it.
Meanwhile, Mohammed Nabi, Nabs, our catch of the day.
Catch of the day is brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. Your idea of yes I can happens here.
He hasn't hit it. He hasn't hit it. And that is good. Very good. Who would think he's 42 years of age, Mohammed Nabi?
Cutter, yeah, normally goes to that cutter. Asalanka lost strike really since that resumption. He must have made 40 yards. Brilliant grab.
Catch of the day is brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. Your idea of yes I can happens here.
Soon enough, the CPL will be right here on local soil. Ian Bishop's 14-year association with the Caribbean Premier League is set to be commemorated with induction into the league's Hall of Fame. Bishop, one of the world's premier commentators, will be inducted on September 15th, along with Dwayne Bravo. In part one of our 2-part sit-down, Bishop discusses the CPL's gesture and the future of Caribbean broadcast commentary.
I'm cognizant of the honor that has been bestowed. I thank God that He's allowed me to find a career post-playing that I enjoy just as much as I did being on the field. But more than anything else, I'm really happy for Dwayne Bravo.
While grateful for being named the Caribbean Premier League's inaugural non-playing Hall of Fame inductee, Ian Bishop could not help but deflect the spotlight onto the man who will stand beside him at a gala dinner in Barbados on September 15th.
He's got another one, 501. Fort Wayne Bravo.
While many of Bravo's and other players' CPL successes have been narrated by Bishop's unmistakable voice, he is first to admit.
The commentator is always peripheral to the players. That's my philosophy. The players take center stage. We are only storytellers. We are, in my mind, just the vehicle that conveys the stories of the players, the messages of their performance to whichever audience.
That player-centric approach drives his work inside and outside of the booth.
One of the great things that I've always enjoyed about Republic Bank CPL is my opportunity to interact with players, young players, old players, to encourage them off mic and on mic, because I recognize the bigger picture as a broadcaster is for the betterment of cricket in the region.
With more than 2 decades of experience, he straddles 2 generations. Once a student of the likes of Tony Cozier and Michael Holding, now mentor to the likes of Nikhil Uttam-Chandani, Kesrick Williams, Carlos Brathwaite, and others.
The one thing that I have learned through sport, playing sport, watching sport, and studying the history of life in general is that life never stops. Cricket does not stop with any one player. Sport does not stop with any one player, and broadcasting does not stop with any one broadcaster. And they too will have to throw the rope back over the fence to bring along the others when that time comes.
Bishop says the Hall of Fame initiative is welcomed. With 2 inductees planned each year moving forward, he ponders, though, who would be next.
Because I know that Chris Gayle has got to be somewhere on the radar, that maybe when Pollard ends his playing journey, and Sunil Narine and Andre Russell, that the only reason that they are not here is because they are still playing.
In part 2, Bishop discusses the CPL's value and the future of T20 cricket.
Strike. That's it. That's the championship.
None more deserving than Mr. Ian Bishop. Well, the curtains fell on the All Sectors Under-16 Netball Developmental Program with the shooting competition held on Wednesday. After winning the league, Cardinals won the shooting championship with Mariah scoring 29 goals, Malia Grant 27, and Trinity White 23 to amass 79 goals. Police Netball Youth Club took second with 60. Tanisha Dan scored 27, Anessa Surrett 19, and Renelle Felix 14. Meanwhile, Bermudas United completed the podium in 3rd spot with 52 goals. Congratulations to them all. Internationally now, the Premier League puts in place a new set-piece rule, and the US Open is set to make history with the biggest cash prize at a Grand Slam.
Professional tennis players around the world could be smiling all the way to the bank. That's because the US Open, serving off on August 30th, is set to make history this year with the biggest prize fund ever offered at a Grand Slam. The $108 million prize pool represents a 20% increase from last year, with the men's and women's singles champions to take home $5.5 million each. The pool also includes a new $2 million player welfare fund as players continue to push for a greater share of Grand Slam revenue. In football, the English Premier League will take a tougher stance on holding and grappling during set pieces this season. Set to kick off this weekend, referees will penalize clear non-footballing actions, especially when players hold opponents with both arms or make no attempt to play the ball. Set pieces accounted for a record 25.7% of Premier League goals. Arsenal led the way with 25 set-piece goals, while Liverpool conceded a league-high 19.
Tonight's Sport High is not from CPL cricket, but CPL football, Canadian Premier League magic. Enjoy. Atletico Ottawa's Jean-Aniel Assis conjured up something special against Vancouver on Wednesday. A goal of pure class. Played in on the right, Assis placed a fitted cap on his marker with one touch and let fly an outside of the boot Benjamin with the next. Good skill, great finish. Jean-Aniel Assis gets tonight's Sport High. Yeah, the CPL is in full swing. Of course, we had CPL football to end, but CPL cricket is making its way down the island chain, guys, and soon we'll be right here in Trinidad. Any plans to go to any games, Darius?
No.
Yeah, Jesse?
If I get a free ticket, I just put it out there.
Just put it out into the universe.
Just put it out there, you know. Jesse, thank you so much. Let's now pause for a short commercial break. More for you up next.
How do ideas become plans? Plans become memories.
So you like my new room?
And dreams become your life.
This is my child.
Do you remember when hope became a house? When that house became a home? Your ideas are everything, and we're here to help make them happen. Your idea of yes, I can happens here.
Big moments call for light refreshment. Viva sparkling flavored water. Zero sugar, full flavor.
The best eyewear this summer is at Seaview Optical. Buy one complete clear single vision glasses for $499. Get the second pair free. Or get progressive transitions with designer frames for only $1,399. The best in luxury eyewear. All exclusively available at Seaview Optical.
Heart disease is the #1 cause of death in Trinidad and Tobago, driven by two silent threats, diabetes and high cholesterol. But now there's a powerful ally. Introducing Berberine Plus by Asia Nutrition. Clinically proven to stabilize blood sugar and keep cholesterol levels in check. With 99.9% pure extract, you get superior absorption and real results. Available now at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Berberine Plus. Your heart deserves better.
Get ready for a cricket showdown like no other. The Trinbago Knight Riders go head-to-head with Antigua and Barbuda Falcons this Saturday, August 22nd, in another massive Republic Bank CPL T20 clash. Join us from 6:30 p.m. for the live pre-show. Then catch every boundary, wicket, and thrilling moments live and exclusive on CNC3 and CNC3Live.com from 7 p.m. This year.
Welcome back. Now for an update, a story we brought you earlier. The internal battle within the PNM's San Fernando East constituency is deepening, with the constituency executive now firing back at MP Brian Manning, accusing him of scapegoating party officials and questioning his own political leadership.
In a strongly worded statement titled "Accountability Cannot Be Selective," the executive defended constituency chairman Patricia Alexis, saying she has cooperated with the party's investigation and refrained from trying the matter in the media.
The executive says a party-appointed investigative team heard from both Manning and Alexis, along with their witnesses, and submitted findings and recommendations on which action is now being taken.
However, the executive also turned the spotlight on Manning's electoral performance, noting that the PNM's 5,000 majority vote in San Fernando East in 2020 fell to just 673 votes after a recount in 2025.
It says Manning should examine his own representation. Now, on a lighter note, 8 grade 1s, 8 grade A profiles, and a journey that began long before CAPE.
That's the story of Naparima Girls High School head girl Narisa Rampath, who excelled in the CAPE exams in sociology, performing arts, entrepreneurship, and Caribbean studies. Rampath says she wept when she saw her results, knowing the achievement was built on years of consistent hard work. But it wasn't all easy. Rampath says she once dreamed of becoming a pediatrician, but realized it was performing arts that she really loved. So she changed fields.
It's always good to pivot, you know. It's, I think, a lot of the pressure for young people, like now, you have to figure it out in secondary school, which is a lot of pressure for young people. But I think with proper guidance, and I have great parents that supported me in all my decisions, and great teachers as well, because they give you all the options, all the opportunities, all the different career paths you can take with it.
Understanding the value of the performing arts, Rampath hopes to study law like former Prime Minister Basdio Pandey, travel to Europe, and be an ambassador for Trinidad and Tobago culture.
Guardian Media Limited is celebrating a strong showing at the 37th Caribbean Broadcasting Union Media Awards, with journalists taking home top honors and special mentions for their work across print, television and digital media.
Angelo Jedediah tells us more.
Out of Trinidad and Tobago, Guardian Media.
Hard work, creativity and commitment to journalism have paid off for Guardian Media Limited. GML earned 3 honors at the 37th Caribbean Broadcasting Union Media Awards held Wednesday at the Hyatt in Georgetown, Guyana. The ceremony brought together media professionals from 13 countries and territories across the English, French and Spanish Caribbean. Among GML's recognition was a special mention for Agenda 41 in the Best Magazine Program television category. The program was recognized for its coverage of the 2025 general election, with host Bavita Gopalchan and Kijan Haynes and producer Ryan Bechu credited on the entry. Bechu also earned a special mention in the Best Sports Story print category. His story, 20 years on, remembering when TNT qualified, looked back at TNT's historic qualification for the 2006 FIFA World Cup. But the biggest GML win came in the Best Production on Land Degradation Neutrality print category. Rising Seas and Vanishing Lands, also by Bechu, took the top award for its reporting on environmental degradation, changing landscapes, and the effects on local communities. The celebrations continued with 2 individual awards for GML journalists for work produced before they joined the company. Climate Change editor Sagoni Mohammed won the Sustainable Development Goals Champion digital category. Tobago correspondent Stefan Nicholas also took home the award for Best News Story in Print. And GML's success extended beyond news and current affairs. Radio personality Jerome Rome Priscilla, along with co-producers Rodney Simongal and Gianfranco, won Best Entertainment Program for Carnival Catwalk Season 1. A night of recognition for Caribbean media and a proud moment for the journalists and creatives of Guardian Media Limited. Angelo Jedediah, CNC3 News.
Now, he was not mentioned in the report, but Angelo Jedediah was part of the Agenda 41 team. Congrats to him and, of course, everyone else, including you, Sagoni.
Oh, congratulations. Now, ahead of Independence Day, we ventured across the country asking citizens, what does Trinidad and Tobago mean to you?
Every night, we'll be bringing you one patriotic response. Here's what Johnny Mirage had to say.
Well, this right here, the Great Race 2026, represents who we are from Trinidad and Tobago. And independence, it's a mixed race of people coming together and enjoying themselves.
I really think that you guys did so much work, the CNC3 News team, for that CBU Awards, and we usually stand out, which is good.
Congratulations to every winner and every submission from our company.
And maybe you guys will put something forward next.
Who knows?
Thank you so much for joining us for the 7 p.m. news. I'm Doris Polo.
I'm Jesse Ramdale.
I am Jassy Marie.
And I'm Sigoni Mohammed. Good night.
The fact that they ask the questions, those challenging questions that no other media house would ask. To, shed light on those things that are in the dark, those stories that no one else wants to cover.
I grew up reading The Guardian, actually. It's a household name.
About The Guardian, one thing that I like, the human interest stories have increased.
City investigation.